Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Lisa Renee TV. I already got my thumbs up because you already know what I want you to do. Thumbs up the video, Hans. Yes, definitely thumbs up the video if you like it, and make sure to share on all your social media networks. Hey, all right. Well, welcome back, my lovelies. I'm so happy to be back in front of the camera as always, of course, and hope everybody's Sunday is going marvelous as mine is. Yes. Okay, so I wanted to come in here and basically just tell you all just my view on or my impression of this event that I went to last night. So I went to a singles mixer. Hey, so yeah, I got out and went to a singles mixer with my girl. So we went and it was in Hyde Park, so that's not too far from where I live. Okay, so we went to Hyde Park. And we went to the Silver Room. I don't know if you all have ever been to the Silver Room before, but it's nice. It's actually pretty nice, little quaint little store, and they still like a lot of really pretty pieces like jewelry, clothing, etc., etc. Okay, so we went there, and they were holding something called the Winter Fling for fly singles, and so a little mixer. And they served wine, and they had a DJ, and DJ was on point. I mean, she was in a female DJ too, right? Ladies, hey, we like to see, our female, DJs, just hey, really doing doing it. Okay, so she did really good. So, she had the music going, a lot of old school music like early 2000s, Missy Elliott and Maya and all that stuff. So it was nice. So we got in there. It started at 7. It was like 7 to 10, but we got there about maybe 8-ish because we went to go eat first. Okay. So we got in, and it was a nice, cool vibe. Like, everybody was nice. It was real cool. But, like, we noticed, we was probably the youngest people there. Okay. Off bat. I just got to say, we probably was like the youngest people there. I'm 27. She's 27 now. And it was like, yeah, everybody was, I'm going to say, roughly probably like 35-ish and up. 35 is not, to me, that's not old at all. Like, no, it's not old. Would I date somebody who's 35? Would I marry somebody who's 35? Yeah. Yeah. I don't really, I used to have age limits. I don't really have age limit anymore. I think whatever God has for me is perfect and well and for my good. So I don't have an age limit. So if my Boaz is 35, then he just is. I'm not like, oh, I ain't too old. Like, that's not old at all. But I think past that, then I'm like, oh, okay. Then I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So this crowd was like definitely mature. Like, they seem to be like maybe like upscale, like 40 something. We like 40s, maybe leaning towards 50, So I was like, oh, okay. So they seem like a little older. And it was kind of small. Like, it was real quaint. Like, maybe, how many of us was maybe like 30 something, 40 something people. So it wasn't that many people. Okay. So it was easy to kind of work the room and walk around and everything. So it seemed like everybody was kind of in their own little world, talking into the people they knew and kind of talking to other people too. It was all right. We went in, and it was actually hosted by a lady named Jennifer Bridgeforth, and she describes herself as a relationship architect. And so she has a book out called Wisdom in Pieces: Motivational Moments for Real Life. I love that title. Real catchy, right? So she was there, and she was hosting the event. She was really good. I actually got a chance to talk to her. She was really, really good. She was there, and she did. She got up and spoke to the crowd and kind of gave her spiel. And she basically talked about speaking positivity over yourself and your life and how you attract what you feel that you are and what you deserve. And she was talking to women and men, but mostly women. Like, I know a lot of times as women, we may not feel so good about ourselves, and we don't think because other people have told you that you're not pretty enough, you're too fat, you're too thin, your butt's not big enough, it's too small, whatever. Like, you don't have big enough breasts, you need, your hair is too blonde, it's too red, it's whatever. Like, something on you is not good enough, or you're not good enough as a person to have love, and that's not true. So she was saying, like, basically giving ways on how to kind of what word am I looking for? You know, kind of, I want to say counteract, but I don't know if that's the right word, you know, but not to fall into the trap or fall into the snare of believing those things and settling into those thoughts, settling into those negative thoughts and letting them become who you are. And therefore, you're going to attract those same type of people, you know, so you don't want to do that. So when you speak positive things and you start to believing, you know, who you are is good enough, you are good enough, you are pretty enough, you are wonderful, no, you're not too fat, you're not too thin, you know, these things are not true, and you kind of start to throw out those myths about yourself, you start to attract, you notice, like, wow, I'm attracting a whole different set of guys. Wow, I'm attracting a whole new type of breed of men. Like, I didn't know, we were ignoring that phone, but we, you know, wow, I didn't know I could attract these types of people into my life, but it happens, because you're different. You're a new creature, so now you are attracting, new creatures, and you're attracting the type of people who you need in your life, and who are more favorable, to you. So yeah, so she was good, So I kind of walked around and like I kind of split up from my girlfriend at first, and then we came back together and talked a little bit. There was one guy who I kind of caught eyes with. We kind of smiled at each other, but I think he left early. He looked at me about our age. I'm like, yeah, he probably would have been the perfect one for me to be talking to, right? So he left early, unfortunately. So it wasn't so much going on. One guy walked up to me. He was over 40. He was really sweet though. He's a little Hispanic guy. We talked for like maybe a few minutes, and he kind of walked around. I walked around. Everybody was friendly, but it just. No, it wasn't happening. It was nice, but it just, it just wasn't really that type of thing. The music was nice, the scenery was nice, it was aesthetically appealing to the eye, but it just, as far as like meeting your soulmate, no, it just wasn't happening. I don't know, maybe somebody there met their soulmate, I didn't, So my emotion, I kind of was paying close attention to my emotions. Like, when I first got there, I went to the bathroom, and I kind of prayed to, the Holy Spirit, like, just guide me, lead me. I know I'm nervous, I'm anxious, give it to God, cast your cares, right? And hey, I just took a deep breath, like, whatever, I'm just gonna relax. I'm not here expecting anything. Like, if something happens, great. If not, whatever. I had a great time anyway. I'm out the house. At least you're out the house. So yeah, because I had work early that day. 11 to 5, and this is my little evening, hang out time. So just hang out and just chill. Don't, be expecting, oh my God, he's gonna walk through the door. Like, no, probably not. He might, but just relax. So, you never know what's up, right? So yeah, my emotions kind of like shifted throughout the evening. I kind of came in like, I was pretty chill, pretty happy. And then like I think at some point I kind of got slightly discouraged, but I didn't want to sit in that emotion, so I tried to just kind of walk around and just chill out, look at the nice little things they have. They have some nice little fur coats in the door, so I'm looking at like, oh, nice little coats. I found like a little t-shirt making company. I'm like, oh, okay, I might work with them. I found a little thing for writers, this stuff, I just kind of got into me, but not too much to the point where if a guy does want to speak to you, you don't want to stay in office, like you don't really care, So I try to position myself like where guys were, but nobody really paying me no mind. And I just kind of chalked it all up to like, it could be like age, it could be like because these people are like a little bit older, so they're not really there for that. Like we met we met two guys. One of them tried to talk to my friend, like, but he was like an older guy. He was like 40 something, 50. He had a scarf on, and he was so like, one of them smooth cat daddy types. He walks up, but he had a boutique. Him and his younger protege had a boutique. Now the younger protege, like I was, trying to feel him out. I don't think he was trying to talk to me, but he was talking to me, like he was real networky, like, and he was just showing me pictures of the products they had. They sell women's clothing and whatnot. But the other guy was trying to talk to my friend, and I think he was checking me out too at the same time. It was so weird because I walked over there and I was like, oh, hello. But he didn't really say nothing at first. Then he ended up taking a picture with both of us, and he spilled his wine on the floor on purpose, and then told me, "Oh, you didn't see that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't see that." Anyway, yeah, he was one. He was weird. Anyway, so he kept looking at me, like checking me out from the rear, and I was like, why does he keep looking at me? And he kept checking me out, and I think he told like another guy and to check me out, and the other guy checked me. It was really pervy. I was getting objectified. I'm sorry, I was, like I was, and I was like, this is weird. So like she moved up, so I moved up, try to get the hell away, and then by then. The speaker, Jennifer, started talking, so I was like, oh, thank God, this interrupt this whole little melee of craziness here. I was like, oh, Lord, it was kind of, that was crazy, that was kind of the fun part of it, it was funny, for laughs and giggles, right? But I don't know, so I talked to one guy, another guy there. He was nice. I was trying to see, he had a youngish looking face when I came up on him. He had a little gray in his beard and everything. So I was like, oh, he older, but he was nice. But he just saying he was trying to really, vibe with me like that. But he was, polite. So yeah, so it was kind of like, nice but humdrum kind of evening. Like, we just, whatever, And I was like, okay, what's happening? The girl, okay, so I was over, and I was just sipping on the wine. I wasn't getting drunk, but yeah. So one of the big parts that helped me out is my talk with Jennifer. So I went back and I talked to Jennifer, and I asked her when she was, I was ready to go, and it was almost over anyway. And I said, when you gonna go and when we gonna answer another question? She said, oh, about 5 minutes. Or did you have a particular question you wanted me to answer for you? I said, oh yeah. And I said, oh, do you want me to pick it out of a little bowl? Because there was a bowl with the question we roll on paper and put them in the bowl. And she was like, oh no, you can just you can sit down here and I'll just answer for you. I said, oh, that's awesome. So she sat down and sat down with me. It was so sweet. And I talked to her for like a few minutes before me and my friend headed out. And basically, my question to her was like, how should Christian women, like, how do they position themselves and get ready for their Boaz or their husband to be sent to them? Like, what's the effective way? What is some way they can prepare? And, things like that. So she gave me a few tips. She was saying, well, number one, if you are in church, you should probably join your church's women's ministry. And we heard this like a lot of times, right, ladies? You're like, okay, the women's ministry. And it's like you half-heartedly, you want to do it at the same time. You're like, I don't know, I'm thinking about it. Because she said it actually is going to take a lot of leg work out for you because, you meet guys there or, because you're working, you're in ministry. And a lot of couples have met that way. So, true story. So, so she said, probably should join your church's women's ministry. Also, other places you can go to meet, good guys, Christian guys, would be coffee houses, libraries. You can meet them at the grocery store. So these are really common places, right? So really, they're all around, which I kind of do. Like, good guys are pretty much everywhere, and that's the irritating part because you're like, they're everywhere, but then they're nowhere. You're like, I go to these places, and so. But anyway, so she said, and you might want to get your standards together now as far as like what you will and won't tolerate, which I already have been working on. Get that together so that you already kind of be prepared so that the energy that you emit into the atmosphere, it already speaks for itself. So for example, if you're a person who does not have sex on the first date, people already know. So a person who's looking for that will not approach you because your energy says it before you have to say it. For you to open your mouth and say, I don't do this, like they already can look at you and tell, okay, So, so I'm like, okay, got that in the bag. All right, working on that. And she was saying, as far as tonight, even though you don't really meet the one, tonight you can use tonight's event as practice for other mixers that you might go to, because other mixers are really huge or big. This was small and quaint. This is great. This was just good for you to kind of break the ice and just let me get used to talking to people. Let me get used to talking to guys and seeing how it might be like at a mixer because I don't go to a whole lot of them. So it was just good practice. It was just use it as that. And she was saying another thing is you might want to try to go to networking events, high profile though. Not the ones that are like, oh, it's a networking event. Oh, it's really a party. Those, we all been to those. You're like, this ain't no networking event. We just up in here eating wings and talking, No, the high profile because those people are most likely looking for a relationship because they're higher up in their career. So they're like, I'm looking for a relationship, most likely. So, yeah. Great way to kind of bond with people, meet people that way. So I so appreciated talking to her because I have been feeling like I really wanted to sit down and chat with somebody too, somebody who's you know, a Christian person, and so they can understand, you know, your spirituality, your you know, religion, and they can give you some wise counsel. You know, they talk about that in the Bible a lot. You know, somebody can give you some answers, because sometimes you feel like you all have answers. Like I try to search on my own. You guys probably try to look for stuff too on your own. And sometimes you feel like you all out of answers. You have so many questions, but there are no answers. You're like, I have no idea. I'm hitting brick walls. You know, you know. So it was just nice to, a lot of stuff I kind of already knew, had already heard of. My friends told me so, her mom told me so, but it was just nice to, you know, kind of sit down with somebody. But it was awesome. Overall, I think the event was good for me personally. To go, like she said, just go and you just getting practice. You're just getting your feet wet. Just, you know, hey, just relax. You know, you have fun. You were able to get out when you're out of the house. You know, hey, you know, you just got your feet wet. It's practice for bigger mixture events. So I think overall it was great. I'm glad I went. You know, no, I didn't meet anyone, but it was fun. I don't think I was expecting to meet anyone. I didn't really go there with expectation. That I think, but I didn't. You know, because I'm like, you don't really know what's gonna happen. So don't go there like putting your hopes like he's gonna. I just know I'm gonna be Adam. I'm like, don't do that. You know, and that's the reason why, because you might have an evening like I did, where you didn't meet anybody. So don't do that, because I would have been in tears. You know, if I had went there expecting to meet the person you didn't. So. Yeah, but overall, I'm definitely going to continue going to more mixers and you know, other events. Just going about your daily life, stores, libraries, you know, things like that. Coffee houses. She's met really nice people in coffee houses, so all kind of good stuff. But I just wanted to come in here and share this experience with you all and catch you all up on, you know, the dating world and my dating life and things of that nature. So. Hope you all enjoy and have a great Sunday. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.